French police have identified one of the gunmen who blew himself up at the Bataclan concert hall, the scene of the bloodiest attack where 89 people were killed, as 29-year-old Paris native Omar Ismail Mustafi, his father and 34-year-old brother have been taken into custody by police, and a source close to the probe said that investigators are searching the homes of other friends and relatives of the killer. Mustafi, whose identity was confirmed using a severed fingertip, was known as being close to radical Islam but had never been linked to terrorism in the past. Gaurav Sawant is now joining us with more details. Gaurav, how significant is this identification of this particular gunman?
This is extremely significant. This is the first big lead that the security forces in France needed. They've identified Omar Ismail Mustafi. He's 29 years old. His father and brother have now been taken into custody. You'd recall there have been a series of raids in Belgium late last night and some very early this morning in a particular locality, and several people have been detained there. So they've been piecing together, investigators have been piecing together the plot. It apparently transpires that Mustafa, this Omar Ismail, this 29-year-old man who blew himself up at the Bataclan theatre concert hall, he had even travelled to Syria. He fought alongside the Islamic State. He was radicalized. He was a trained terrorist. He was on the radar of the security forces and the intelligence agencies, but never really arrested and never really detained for terror. So that is how he was under the scanner there. His identification has led to at least one module, as they're saying, being busted. Several others are now on the radar. This plot was hatched for 9 months, Maha, and in different countries this plot was hatched. It was executed by 3 different teams, and the bigger shocker is one of the suspected terrorists was only 15 years old.
Yes, in fact, Gaurav, do stay with us. We are getting more details of that shocker, really, that is coming in of a 15-year-old being part of that terror plot. More breaking news coming in, reports suggesting that one of the terrorists involved in the deadly attack in Paris was a 15-year-old. The teenager is believed to have targeted the Stade de France football stadium last night. That is on Friday night, in fact. Officials also said that another bomber passed through the Greek island of Leros as a migrant in October. 3 other terrorists are believed to have been from a suburb of the Belgium capital, Brussels. Gaurav, what more details are coming around about this teenage terror attack plotter?
This is actually shocking. Someone as young as 50 could have been radicalized so much that he would be a terrorist who would attack a stadium where there was a friendly match between France and Germany, and that's the fact that the French president, François Hollande, was watching that match along with the German foreign minister.
Yes.
So what security agencies are now concluding is that the best team was sent, of terrorists was sent to the concert hall and to the stadium to target the big high value targets. This 15-year-old, well, he had a Syrian passport. Perhaps one of the refugees. Perhaps he passed through the refugee. When that refugee trail had crossed the Greek island of Leros. Why was he not checked at any of the other border points? Remains the question of investigation at this stage, but a much wider plot there.
Gaurav, also are reports now suggesting as to how long was this entire plot really, how long did they take to plot this entire episode?
Sketchy details just as yet. We've been scanning through a number of news reports and also what the government is saying in France. Initial reports seem to indicate that this plot was hatched for almost a year, 9 months to a year, in different countries, and that is something that the French president himself said, that the plot was hatched overseas. Apart from that, Maha, it took 3 different teams. If you recall, it's quite similar to 26/11 Mumbai terror attack. There you had 10 terrorists and who split into 5 buddy pairs. Here they split into 3 different teams and they spread out, causing mayhem at different locations. So that blueprint of Mumbai terror attack here by terrorists, and this is again one more indicator that it's more like a global incorporated the way these terrorists are operating.
Yes.
Plan from place A and implementing it with B, which appears to have happened here in Paris.
Gaurav Sawant there reporting on the latest details coming in about the identity of one of the terrorists and another being reported to be as old as 15 years.